All right, welcome to the video training series. This is a bonus video.
Your bonus.
My bonus.
I hinted that I was going to do this and I decided to. This video is a part of the video training series on how to build a $1 million report of findings system. A system is where the magic is. If you're going to build a report of findings, I don't care if you want $1 million practice or not, having a $1 million report of findings system will give you the time and the financial freedom to do what you want to do and ultimately have the lifestyle and impact. This isn't just about lifestyle. This is about actually teaching people the truth about what they could have with the power of chiropractic. Now, what this video is about is how to get more referrals. Well, it's actually not exactly that. Is why people refer or not. And so I see this so often that chiropractors aren't getting the referrals that they could. And I think they want, clearly everybody wants referral. It's one of the best, new patients because it doesn't take as much energy to convert them because they already have a connection. They have a level of trust built in. The question is, are you getting them around referrals that you desire? And so you can change that by having a system. I teach this system all day, every day to my clients so they can have the practice of their dreams, so they can create the impact and influence and income that they once dreamed about. And I'm gonna tell you, they're no different than you. So here's the problem with referrals. Most chiropractors think that people refer only after they get results. And that they're gonna wait till they get the results and then refer. And it's not a bad thing, and it is true. When people get results, they have an incentive, they're incentivized to tell somebody else. But that's not the reason why they refer. Are you ready? Do you know the only reason why people refer? By the way, it's the same reason why you refer somebody to a movie, a new music, a restaurant. One reason why the human spirit is inspired to refer, and it's one word: status. Your patients refer or not refer because of status. What status, you ask? Their status. Think about this. If you're going to tell a friend about something, you want to know what you tell them about they're going to enjoy. It's going to increase your status with them. It's the same thing in any referral situation. They want their status increased with this relationship of the person they're referring to, they're recommending they go. So think about this. Does your office represent an opportunity for them to increase status? The level of care they get, the level of testing they got, the level of recommendations, what they were taught, the education, the feeling they felt when they came in, by your staff, by your walls, by your energy, the culture of your office? Does it scream, we will take care of your people? Another thing when it comes to status and referrals is that you don't have to wait until they get results for them to refer or for you to expect them to refer. The greatest practice, what if I told you? The greatest practices today across the world get referrals way before anybody gets results because they can deliver a perceived value in the care. You have to deliver a perceived value because the actual value doesn't happen until after the fact, so they have to buy in first. They have to commit. But I'm telling you, in that moment, if you do this right, that's why I love the $1 million report of findings system, because when you paint the picture appropriately, you create a perceived value that they want to run off and tell their friends, their family, their coworkers, because there's a status that comes with it. That's what I show you in the $1 million report of findings system. It takes me a little bit of time, but I'm going to show you when you see me do it, you will see, because it's not just verbal, it's also nonverbal. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. I'm going to go through the research with you, but the biggest point I want to tell you in this video about referrals is that don't buy into the lie that you have to wait till they get results for them to be referring. You can expect them to refer. Why? Because shouldn't they get people checked? Right? So there's a catalyst to making sure that you put your best foot forward and you give them an opportunity to refer before they get results. This is where the biggest practices in the world live, because they're getting referrals, meaning they're getting people to come in with a trust built in before the results actually happen. Now, you may ask how you do this. I'm going to give you 3 tips right now. Number 1 is you've got to master the power story, because people refer because they feel understood. And when they feel understood, they feel edified. When they feel edified, they're willing to tell others because, again, it's going to increase their status. So that doesn't happen by telling to them to refer. It doesn't happen through logic. It doesn't happen through a bunch of information or just the best education and best posters. And I've got posters. I would try to sell you on those. That's not what does it. It's the power of story. You've got to master the power story. This is why I talk so much about it. This is what drives referrals more than anything else, is the power story. Secondly is you've got to make sure that your practice members or your new prospects would be willing to tell a skeptic. So if you can create the communication that allows them to know that their skeptical friends, old skeptical Steve and doubting Darcy, they can send them in. When I grew my first practice and I learned this, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know that I was doing it. But what I was doing is I was welcoming people in because they knew that I was just like them. I had a medical background. I was a family full of medical doctors, all these things. They realized that I was skeptical just like they are or just like their friends would be. And so it allowed them to have a comfort level that this guy's going to get you. Skeptical Steve, I can send him in. And the thing about it is, when it comes to natural health and chiropractic, people don't know how most people feel about it. Even their close inner circle, they're not sure how they feel. Like, I don't know if they feel about chiros. I don't know what they feel about natural health. I don't know what they feel about, holistic care. So if you can create the idea that they feel that you are a skeptic just like them, you are at one point a skeptic, you welcome skeptics because you were one. And I'm going to tell you right now, at your heart of hearts, you are a skeptic. And so when they can feel that from you, that's when because they feel comfortable that you can relate with anybody they send in. That is a ninja move right there. Story and having the ability of relating with the skeptic, their skeptical friends. I'm telling you, when you do this, guards come down and they start to send people in. And by the way, you may feel like you don't have a story. You have a story. It's the biggest lie from the devil is that you think that you don't have a story. You do, as big or small. I've got clients that come in like, well, I didn't come out of death's door. I didn't have an accident or an injury, or I didn't have a medical family. I was maybe raised in chiropractic. I said, you've got the best story. You've got what's called a silent miracle that everybody wants. Every mom wants a silent miracle, like my girls. Like nothing crazy happens to them. They don't have ear infections. They don't have allergies. They don't have the stuff that other people, like it's a silent miracle. So my point is, you can create any narrative you want. You have a story. And when your people understand this, they'll start to refer because they feel like you understand anyone. And when you understand anyone, you understand their friends, even the skeptical ones. And the third thing I'll say is you have to have a system that can deliver this hope. Gives them a reference point for your uniqueness, that we subscribe to the fact that the greatest doctor's inside and that we get unique results unlike anything else. Not because we're great, though you are, it's because the power that made the body heals the body, the greatest doctor's inside. That's so great. And I'm telling you, I have a script that you can ethically steal from me to actually implement into your report of findings that allows you to get the same results. And I'm telling you, when you combine these three things, referrals will come, right? It's story, it's being able to accept and relate with the skeptical patients that they're going to send in and that their friends are. And the third thing is to actually deliver that level of hope, meaning you are actually relaying the power of what you do. Not this weird cliche, power that makes the body heals the body. No, some actual on the ground proof and emotional driving communication that gets them this aha, wow, this place is different. This is a different type of doctor's office. Because when you can relay that, that's when they start to say, you got to experience it. And so again, I've got a very specific script that you can ethically steal. It's part of my $1 million report of findings system that I want to be able to give to you as we move forward here. So that's the name of the game when it comes to referrals. Remember, 93% of communication is nonverbal. I know that's a lot. 38% is your tone. 55% your body language. So when you combine that with the power of story and the actual words that are coming out of your mouth, people will refer. People will refer. You got to also set up your culture in your office that people like and enjoy coming into, right? And so there's ways to do that really up the ante for them driving people in, and I want to help you do that. There's no reason why you're not getting more referrals. In fact, my system will show you, one, how to drive people in before they get results, and number two, how to get results better so that when they're getting better, they're actually driving more people in because they're getting unique results. I'm telling you, it's not just your adjustments, it's your ability to communicate. When you combine these two things, I'm telling you, you will crush referrals. And anybody can do it because remember, referral is about status, one thing. And so when I show you exactly how to put the pieces in play to drive status on anybody at any time in any community, that's when the magic starts happening. That's when you start driving the revenue in your practice. So there you have it. God bless.